So I'm on my path out here in these woods. But what I wanted to say was, I think about all the different boards and committees and coalitions and different groups in the community that want to do the good work of helping other people in the community, like transient population, the homeless community, people living in poverty, and people of color from different backgrounds. And these boards and these committees and these coalitions and these groups, they want more diverse people on these groups when it's time for it. But why don't they have these people already, like when they're forming these groups, when they're forming these coalitions and these committees and these board groups, how come they don't already have these people in mind to begin with in the first place? Neither here nor there. Now they need people from these communities, so they go out. And there's this thing called tokenism, where you're going to get your token voice from that community. That's a whole lot of pressure. That's traumatizing. It's challenging. Someone that comes from that community can't possibly speak for everyone that lives in that community without it. It could come with a lot of backlash. It's just a whole lot of pressure, right? Now, the people that gets reached out to represent these communities of color or transient population and things like that, these are people that want to help those populations they may care or whatever. And a lot of times they come with a polished background, a degree, or some experience and involvement doing these things, some expertise. Why not have anyone directly from the community, a part of the board, a part of the committee, a part of the coalition, a part of the group? A transient person sitting on a board, why is that not a thing? And why not only, don't have just one transient person, have two, have three, because their experience is going to be different. The one might be, a single parent with kids that's living out on the streets. One might be, dealing with something else that we can't understand, so you can get these different voices to represent these communities the proper way, the real way, a more genuine, sincere way, instead of going out and it's like, oh, I need to get a woman on this board, and I need to get a person of color, and I need to get someone else over here to do this thing so it look like we're doing the thing for the community. Like, that's fake, man. That's phony. That's ingenuine. That's like, it's usury. And it's got to stop, man. It's got to stop. Like, if you really sincere and serious and genuine about it, then you would really think about that. Like, and then you want to help the youth. Why is it not any youth on any boards? The voice of the youth, they say, oh, their minds are not developed, or it's still important that these kids can talk about what's going on in the schools, what's going on in the neighborhoods through the lens, their eyes, their experiences. Like, it takes a village to raise a kid. You got to understand where everybody is coming from, these different perspectives. So these people that are not on the boards, the transient community, that actually that's in the thick of it, that's living in it right now, or someone that's living in poverty right now, Section 8, got food stamps and all this stuff, that's living it right now, that's toughing it out and going through the struggles in the heart of it, in the mix of it. Where are those voices in those rooms? How come they don't have access? All of this, I had a conversation with one of my best friends, Serene. Thank you for that. And this is just something that we're talking about, and now we're putting it out there. It's been a thought. Now we're putting it out there. Now it's action steps to get it going. If you don't do this, if you don't even consider genuinely, sincerely, with all intents and purposes, to even have this dialogue and this discussion, I need to know why people from these communities are not even considered. Do you think that they're not smart enough? Do you think that they're not qualified enough? Like, how can you not have more qualification than actually living in the thick of it? Like, so I want to know their vetting process of who's deemed the right fit for these groups, these coalitions, these committees, these boards, and want to do for these communities that they so-called care and want to help, but they're not including those voices. They go out and get some college-educated voice or someone that has done work with it, and they just on the outside looking in like, oh, these statistics show that these are the things that help these type of people, but they never lived in it. And some of them may have come from that background and went to college and came out of the slums of the struggle, but they're not currently living in it. They've been through it, went and got educated, and they had to fight. They had to climb up some hills. It wasn't easy, but they're not living in it currently. So how it was 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago when they was in it, yeah, they got that history. They was in it. But times change all the time. Struggle changes all the time. Hard knock life it changes all the freaking time. So I love my community. I love my people. I love humanity. I love nature. And if we really want to do better, we can do better. And if we don't even try to be genuine and sincere about it, then that's unforgivable. Peace, love, smiles, truth, galaxy. I'm Zachary. I see you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be kind to nature. Universe will support you. Otherwise, if you're not sincere and not genuine, that is unforgivable.